What's up, guys? Welcome to Truth Be Told,
where we seek truth
and speak truth.
I'm Susie.
I'm Jimena.
And I'm Brandon. And today we are going to be diving into the topic of communities. Real quick, if you've been following up with the Truth Be Told channel and podcast, we have to apologize because there's been some technical difficulties and also the summer's been very busy for us three. There's been a lot of things going on, so we apologize that we're not on a perfect schedule, but that just goes to show that we're not all perfect humans, right? And going forward now, we're going to be filming or releasing videos once every other week. So if you're following up with all of our latest uploads, then just expect a slower schedule for this summer. But anyway, we're going to dive into our intro question, which is, who or what is your safe space?
I'd have to say my close friends, my grandma, my mom, and or just reading, because it's my mom, my grandma, my close friends. I choose people that like wouldn't judge me for things or wouldn't just brush it off or like not pay attention when I need it. And it's like I know that they will never judge me, and I know that they'll use scripture instead to lead me through my problems or any issue that I just go through. And just also they wouldn't judge me for being who I am. Like I'm prone to be a super loud and like silly person. So I know that they wouldn't judge me, but instead they'll join me into it. And also like reading regular books or reading the Bible. I feel like reading is such a soothing thing for the mind, and it also helps your mind grow. And it's like a really soothing thing, like just to read and be in a quiet place with like maybe slow music. And it's like, that's where I find my peace.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I definitely see the appeal. The other day I was reading and I was putting this puzzle together. It was like a 500-piece puzzle, and it was so relaxing. I was just, I was in my happy place. But anyway, I would say my safe place, definitely like a lot of friends, but also my family for sure. I think that we're not the type of family to really keep secrets from each other. Most of the time, if one of us is feeling a certain way, we're going to let the other members of the family know, and the family is going to kind of rally together and be like, oh, how are we going to help this person feel better? And how are we going to help them through this?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. I wouldn't say the exact same thing with my family, because I mean, I'm the middle child and I don't always give my secrets to my brothers, but with my parents, I'm always open to talk to them, and they're good people to talk to. But that's very basic. Also my close friends, but also one thing I just feel like is the most important in my life is just being alone with God. It's not necessarily reading the Bible or necessarily praying. It can be a mixture. It can be just listening to music or taking a nap even. But being with God and being in the presence of God, knowing that I'm safe, that is my safe space, because literally nothing can reach me when I'm with God in his presence. One thing I like to do to like get into that state is just listen to worship music. That for me is like a really safe space to be in. And also I'd say my pastor, of course, Eli, he's amazing. And yeah, that's what my safe space is. Yeah. Somebody that I can talk to about God, even like that, I really feel like is something that calms me down and makes me know who I am in Christ.
Yeah. These are some good answers. Just going off of that previous question, we're going to get more into the logistics of community, and we're going to get into the fact that not all communities are necessarily equal, and there's different results of communities depending on the people that you're surrounding yourself with, and there's negative reactions and positive reactions. And so with that, the first question is going to be, what does a good community look like?
I mean, like the intro question, I'd say like it's a safe space. Like it has peace in it, it has joy, it has happiness, and it like has all these things in it that won't ever put you down. And I think just like not feeling pressured or anything, just having a safe place to talk to people, because your community is supposed to be a community where you don't feel afraid to say something or question something, because you know that they won't say anything about it, but they'll help you, guide you if it might be wrong or right. And it's like, that's what your community is supposed to look like.
Yeah. I think one of the greatest attributes about a good community is just the fact that you're able to uplift each other, that you're able to go to somebody who might not even be necessarily your friend or somebody who you know well, but you can still say something good about them because you're in that environment. You're with those people, that community that supports that and encourages that. And that is one of the greatest benefits of a good community. And it's that when I see that in a community, like when I see that at our church, because I do believe we have good community at our church, I just go like, wow, that's amazing. That's literally what Paul tells us to do. Multiple verses in the Bible, like usually when he's closing out an epistle, he says, exhort the brethren and not give blessings, but he says to lift each other up and to not cast anybody down. That attribute about a community is so important, and it really contributes to making a good and strong foundation. Well, not foundation because Jesus Christ is the foundation, but it really builds up the foundation that Christ has set, you know?
Yeah.
For sure. I think another really good example of like what a good community should look like is also when we just look at what love is, and we just say like, oh, love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast. And those are the things that we should look for in a good community and in the people that we associate ourselves with. Obviously on both sides, like, is that person patient with me? Am I patient with them? Am I envious of this person? Are they envious of me? Because if you're not following what love is, then you're not going to have a prosperous community.
Yeah. I think it's really important that you mentioned love and community, because that is in essence one of the main like principles of community is love. You're in a community so you can be loved and give love and just be in this circle of love, right?
Yeah.
Just like the Trinity. I think of the Trinity. It's a community between the Father, the Son, and the Spirit. 3 in 1. They are all in community. They've been community from eternity past to eternity future. And that is where like our basis of love comes in. The Father loves the Son loves the Spirit loves the Father, and all around, you know? And it's such an incredible example that, and God is literally the foundation of the earth and what he created. He created community because he was in community. And the basis for all that community is love.
Yeah.
God is love. The love he spread, the love he created is just so integrated into our world that especially in communities, it's integrated so well into communities. That is one of the main purposes of our communities.
Yeah. And like, that's one of my favorite verses. It's like, with the love, you have to be patient. Like, if you're in a Christian community, like in that perspective, not everyone is going to be in the same level that you are or in the same level that others are. And I know like sometimes if someone asks something, you're gonna be like, how do you not know that? Like, those are the things that you have to be patient with them, because not everyone is on the same area in their journey with God. So maybe this can be your chance to teach them something or let them know, or you can ask something so you can know. And it's like, you have to have that. You have to be patient. Like, don't be like, oh, like, how do they not know that? That's just judging. And that shouldn't be a part of it. And being kind, like just being nice to each other, never like being mean, not ignoring them, not like this, and that. It's like purely supposed to be a good environment.
Yeah. And it also says love is not boastful, which I brought it to my mind. Love is humble, which is like the opposite of boasting. You know, you're humble, and you need to be humble. You need not to boast when you're in that community, so you can learn something. When you're boasting, you're not going to be able to learn from the people that are ahead of you in their spiritual walk with Christ. And so you need to be humble. You need to not boast. And that's one of the good things, a good attribute about community is love, and love is humble. So yeah.
I think that's really good. I was actually just thinking that when you were mentioning about patience and stuff like that, because of course we need to have patience with people that maybe are not as far on their walk, but we also need to understand that, I mean, we're all like on a continuous walk, and there are people that are ahead of us as well. And so if we go into it thinking like, oh, I can teach these people so many things, but you come into it thinking that you're not going to learn anything, then that's a problem.
Yeah. If you pour out all your water in a pitcher, let's say you're a pitcher, right? And you pour out all your water, but you don't have anything pouring in, then, I mean, you're not going to be full.
Yeah.
And the whole point is so that we can get filled, but also pour into other people's cups. And that's a cycle of community, being poured into and pouring out. And it's a lovely thing, really.
Yeah. I mean, this is a great spot to go into our next question, which is, what are things you should avoid when looking for a community?
Ooh.
We're already kind of dipping our toes into that one with our last kind of little spiel that we went on.
Yeah.
But I honestly just think that it's the opposite of love. And I think that there's also a certain level of sabotage, if that makes sense. Like, there's certain people that really don't want to see you succeed, and they don't want to see you like prosper. And you have to look out for those people, because they can be hiding in plain sight, you know? Like, you can get a different impression of somebody than they really are, and it can really mess with you as well.
Yeah. And I think like also the verse, like, slow to speak, but fast to listen. Like, that's the thing. Like, you don't want people that are fast to speak on something or fast with their anger, or like, but you want rather people who will pay attention, listen to you, and have their like focus on you when you're speaking, instead of being like, if you say something like you don't know yet, but you mention it, instead they get mad at you instead of teaching you.
Yeah. Like I was saying for our previous question, building each other up is a good aspect of community, but on the other end of that, there's degrading one another. If you're in a constant battle of, oh, you're this and I'm better than you, or you're so low and I'm here, but you're down here, you know?
Yeah, for
If you're in this constant battle, you're just gonna keep getting lower and lower.
Yeah.
Eventually, no one's gonna be on top. You guys are both gonna be on the bottom.
Yeah.
And that just goes to show like how powerful lifting each other up it really is. You're trying your best to lift the other person above you, but at the same time, they're trying to lift themselves above. Lift you above themselves, and it just keeps going up. But it also can keep going down if you're degrading one another, and that's such a toxic aspect of community that I hate to see whenever like in the world. It's really hurtful.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I've been in situations like that before, and if you do find yourself in that situation, you need to excommunicate from that community, or at least like ask God where you need to go next.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's really good. I think also when we're talking about that and we start talking about like things to avoid in community and stuff, we also have to be careful, because it makes it sound so like harsh, like, oh, to avoid in a community, so that means I have to avoid these people. And that's not necessarily true. You don't have to avoid them, but don't make them your close-knit community. Like, recognize those patterns, see it, and then just decide, hey, like, I'm not going to hold stock in like what they're telling me. I'm not going to come to them for that spiritual advice that I would with somebody that I really respect and that I trust their opinion. Like, you don't need to trust them to be able to be kind with them and to still love them.
Yeah. And I mean, like, that's like a perfect thing to talk about. It's like, you don't have to have that as your close-knit community, but you can still be the light in that community. Like, if you see some things that might have to be fixed, you can be the person to start changing the community, and maybe you go from one person and that person starts seeing that, and the whole community starts to change and see those issues, like with all those things that could be happening. And I mean, like, also just like another thing that I want you guys to like avoid from communities is peer pressure. A lot of the times, especially in youth and even young adult years, where you can get peer pressured into going to parties or doing this or doing that. And it's like, don't fall into that. because it's like if you know it's wrong, then why be in that group already? Like, don't fall into the peer pressure. Be firm on your foundation and where you stand, and don't break that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Another like thing about communities is like, you take example for school. Like, you can be you're called to be the salt and light. So if you're at your school and you see a group of people who are not necessarily like have great relationships with the Lord, or not necessarily doing the great things, you can be that light to them, and you can be there, but you should not associate yourself with that group, like it's hard to come up with the words. Yeah, solely. Like, that is not who your identity is. That's not what you're a part of, because you're truly a part of Christ. That is who your identity is. And when you're called to be salt and light of the world, you're called to be different. You're called to be something completely different. So, but don't let that stop you from going and being the light to them. And yeah.
That's really good. I also just think that while we're talking about that, just to make things like abundantly clear, when we're talking about like being the light and stuff and being different, that doesn't mean that you're any better than the people that you see as like struggling, or those people that are peer pressuring or something like that. It just means that you're in a different place. And I mean, you're walking with God and maybe they're not, but that doesn't make you any better or worse than them. It just means that you're on a different path.
Yeah. And I mean, like, with being the light, there can be moments where you can be the one peer pressuring. Don't force them. If you are of the Christian, like, religion, and that's your relationship with God, don't force other people as well, because that's like, oh, like, you should do this, you should do that, oh, you should stop doing that. But because then that starts feeling like you're forcing that upon them. Be patient with them. If they say no, they say no, but still be in their life and love them. Don't get out of their life just because they said no.
Yeah. And also definitely when approaching like a conflict like that, if you were wanting to say like, hey, I feel uncomfortable with this, or, oh, I feel like this is a little bit wrong. Like, I think that should always be approached with just an appearance of humility, like we were talking about, and also an appearance of not like superiority, just saying like, this is how I feel, and I think this is what we should do.
Yeah.
Right. And going back to what I was going to say earlier, actually, it's going to be hard to find a really good community, because the world and all of us, we're all broken. Like Susie was saying, we're all not righteous, right? We're not all the perfect beings. So it's going to be very hard to find a good community, and no community is going to be perfect. But I believe that we can find good communities, and that there's so many benefits that comes to when you find a good community that is led by Christ and has Christ as the cornerstone and foundation of that community. So that leads us into our third question, which is, what are the benefits of a good community? And I'm talking about, what are the greatest things that can come out of community? The things that we really are striving for when we want to be in community. This is what we want to get out of it, you know?
I mean, like, just the one, like, a great thing that can come out of it is the relationship that you are going to have with them. Because good community, good close community, they know you. They know who you are. They know your likes. They know your dislikes. And they pay attention to those things. And it's so nice. Like, I know it's so nice when people randomly say, oh, like, that person really likes that. Maybe I should get that for them. Or they've been talking about it a lot. Or maybe I'll mention it to them. And it's like, those are the things that feel so good, because I know it feels amazing when a person knows you, when you don't really try to tell them about yourself. They just pay attention.
Yeah.
And that's just for like any community, like throughout the world. It's so nice to know that someone is paying attention to you, collecting like these thoughts, like, oh, like, and thinking about you constantly, being like, oh, like, I know that they like this. Maybe I should do this for them.
Yeah. When we're talking about the idea of like, you want to be in a good community for some benefit, I want to make this clear. It's not like you're being selfish and trying to take advantage of a community. in order to be in a community, you need to give as much as you take, you know?
Yeah.
And but it's good. It's a good thing to be in a community, and we should strive for that because that's what God intended. So don't think, oh, if I get into this community, I feel like I'm gonna take too much, and I don't want to be selfish. You know, like I don't want people to like help me. You know.
Yeah.
But that comes from a place of, oh, well, I'm too good enough, I guess.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know. So we need to be open to the idea that being in community is one of the greatest things that God has created. And anything that any thought that you have that makes you want to get outside of a community or like be separated from anybody, that is a lie from the devil, because I believe that we are supposed to be with each other, that we're supposed to have good relationships with one another, and that we're supposed to be in good community, just as the way that God and Jesus Christ has come to have a relationship with us.
Yeah.
It's the most beautiful and amazing thing. So don't ever think when you're trying to get into a community that you're going to take advantage of somebody or do something like that. It's a good thing to strive for community and the benefits of that.
Yeah, for sure. I also think another really good example for this is just Ecclesiastes 4:10, and it just says, "For if they fall, one will lift up his fellow, but woe to him who is alone when he falls and has not another to lift him up." And Brandon has been talking about this a lot, just like being uplifting. And I think that that's a really important thing, because if somebody is isolating themselves, I mean, obviously we're not alone, we have God, but there's like earthly situations that God has people for you, like to talk to them and to deal with the situations with them as well, and for them to help you. So those are like your resources, basically, your relationships. And if you don't have anybody there for you in your corner, then you will feel alone.
Yeah.
Me personally, I've like these past couple of weeks, I've seen that God has truly given some people like you guys, of course, and he's put them in my life for an exact purpose, and I've seen that come to fruition. So I'm just testifying, God really does put people in the right place for you. And that's one of a huge benefit of just being with people in community and just being able to enjoy the relationships that God has given us. It's such a good thing.
Yeah. And I think like whenever you feel alone or you might be pushing yourself from people, know that your true community is God. He is 3 in 1, so there's 3 people you can talk to. Even though he doesn't speak to you from the skies or from a bush, still he listens to you and answers your prayers in little silent ways or funny ways. Even I've found that out. And it's like God is always there. He's always there to talk to when you feel alone. And I mean, even if you're in a church, there's your pastors, your youth pastors, and those are people that are there to help you. They're there for that thing. And if they don't, I mean, you still have God. You have those people. And I mean, going out and going to youth group, maybe just to meet people, because that's how you gain people in your life. You have to go meet them first.
For sure. And I think that honestly leads really well into how we should find a good community, which is our last question. Because you were talking about having to actually go out and find the people. Because we were talking so much about what a good community is or what it's not. And I mean, how do we actually find that community?
I mean, my biggest thing is you attract the people that you are. And that's my biggest thing to go for, because if you want a good community, are you going to be a good person in a good community? You want to be that person that's in a good community and they're like, oh, like they're a part of that group. You don't want to be the one out that's like, that they see, oh, that's kind of like negative. Like who you are and who you portray yourself to be, that is who you're going to get.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you attract who you are. And it's like, if you're angry, you're going to get someone that's angry. If you speak fast, you're gonna get someone that also does that. So I mean, learning these things through Christ and changing your life with Him, it's just the way to go if you want a good community.
That's really good.
I say one of the most important things, I think, if anything, you should do this first, is pray to God. You need to pray to God in order for Him to put you into the right position, because without God, you're going to be lost. You're not going to know what type of people you need to be around and what types of communities that you need to integrate yourself with.
Yeah.
You need to pray to God that He will put you there and that you can actually find the people and be in community with them.
Yeah.
Because without God, I mean, like, He wouldn't. Without God, there would be no community. So you need to ask Him, hey, what's the first step? Because you created this thing. What should I do with community? You know, it's just asking the Creator what He had intended for the creation.
Yeah.
I say it all the time, but it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Just go to God and ask Him, hey, I need some people in my life that are going to build me up, that I can also help too. And he will answer you. And I'm going to speak from personal experience. He's also answered those prayers in my life. When I prayed, when I felt like I was alone, God did bring people into my life that made me feel like I was a complete human being. I don't think you can be a complete human being without a sense of community, good community.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I also think another really important thing is just effort. Like, you're not going to walk outside and like a group of people is just going to come rushing at you and those are your friends, you know? Like, you also have to understand that you have to go out actively searching for them as well.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe sometimes somebody is just going to come up to you, but sometimes they're not. And sometimes you need to approach somebody, and maybe you're going to be that friend for them as well, that they're going to be able to trust and lean on. And that's the start of any good friendship. Somebody needs to take that starting step.
Yeah. And that's like the biggest thing that I say. I mean, when I first came to this church, I had to push myself to actually go out because of the whole COVID thing. And it's like, I had to put myself out in the world because I was so scared to talk to people. But eventually someone came up to me gladly because I wasn't speaking to anyone. But I was there, and I went there for a purpose. And I was still there wanting to make friends. And I mean, God answers your prayers. And even if you don't ask Him, He knows what's in your head, and He will provide for that. And it's like, those are the things that you have to do. You have to put an effort. You have to actually go out. Don't just stay in your room and expect a magic, and you're like, someone comes to your door in one day and be like, oh, hey, you want to be friends? Like, that's not always going to happen. That's like some Disney stuff. Right. It's like, you have to put your effort as well.
Yeah. And about like, when God does know your mind, but He also really likes it when you ask Him. And I would say, do take the time to pray about it. Like, take 5, 10, even 2 minutes just to like be with God. Like, hey, I want this thing in my life. You said it was good. I want what is good. Yeah. And take that time to really pray. I do believe that when you intentionally spend time in prayer, it's just such a beautiful thing, and it makes you feel better inside. And you're obeying God's commandments of, hey, do this. Like Jesus did model. Oh my gosh. Okay. Like Jesus modeled the prayer He gave to His disciples. He says, pray like this, right? And we should be praying in the same way. So yeah, that's what God has told us to do. He really, really likes it when He prays. He wants us to pray.
Yeah. I think another really good one is also just observation and observing the people around you as well. When you're looking for a community or like friends or something like that, watch the people around you and watch how they interact with other people, because Usually when you meet somebody for the first time, you're on your best behavior. Like, you're not going to be exactly the person that you are every single day, because you want people to get a good impression of you. And then later, as time goes on, there's just like more of you that's peeking through the surface, you know?
Yeah.
So if you watch the people that they already know and they already interact with, and you see, oh, they treat their friends really well, or they treat their family really well, then that's a good sign for you, and that you should pursue that person.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of these things come from discernment, and a lot of this you do have to go to the word to. You have to learn. You have to first go to God, so you know what is right, what is wrong. You have to go to him first to know how to actually live your life.
Yeah. I love that last part that you said. You actually have to go to God to know how to live your life.
Yeah.
That's amazing. But yeah, well, I think that concludes this episode of the Truth Be Told podcast. Would you like to pray for us?
Yes, I will. Dear Lord, I thank you for this day, and I thank you for bringing us all together, and I thank you for whoever's watching this video, Lord. I pray that you speak to their hearts through it, and I pray that if they don't have a community, they haven't found one, Lord, and I pray over them. I pray that you will give them a community that serves you, Lord, that will be a light into other people's darkness, Lord. And I pray that you guide them in every single way. You guide them through your path, Lord, and you protect them at all costs, Lord, for they are your child. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
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 Well, truth be told, God created communities very good and very well. So, with that being said, that is the end of this episode of the Truth Be Told podcast. We'll be back in 2 weeks. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.